Mixed signals are not random. If you are dealing with an avoidant, mixed signals usually mean one thing. They want connection, but they want control more. And control does not look like cruelty. Control looks like confusion. It looks like warmth, then distance. Interest, then silence. A deep moment, then nothing. And the reason this messes with you so much is not because you are too emotional. It is because your nervous system cannot stabilize inside a pattern that keeps changing the rules. So, in this episode, I'm going to translate mixed signals into what they actually mean inside an avoidance system, show you the exact mistake that keeps you stuck in the loop, and give you a clean way to respond that increases the chance of a real return without collapsing, over-texting, or rewarding the cycle. Because here is the brutal truth. Most people do not get hurt by distance alone. They get hurt by hope. They get hurt by contrast. They get hurt by the part that feels like something is there, then gets taken away. That is why mixed signals are addictive. Not because you are weak, because your brain is designed to chase what is inconsistent. Now, let us define mixed signals properly. Mixed signals are when their words, attention, and behavior do not match. They say they miss you, but they do not make plans. They act jealous, but they do not claim you. They get intimate emotionally, then disappear physically. They want you available, but not too close. They want you warm, but not demanding. They want the benefits of connection without the cost of consistency. And with avoidance, mixed signals usually come from one internal conflict: desire versus fear. Desire pulls them toward you. Fear pushes them away. So what you experience as mixed signals is often their system switching between two modes. Mode 1 is activation. They feel you, they crave you, they reach, they flirt, they open up, they get tender. Mode 2 is self-protection. They feel the pressure of closeness, they feel the vulnerability, they feel the expectation. They imagine being needed. They imagine being responsible for someone's emotions, and their nervous system does what it learned to do. It creates distance. This is why you can have a perfect night and then a cold week. This is why you can have intimacy and then silence. This is why you can feel chosen in the moment and then punished by absence right after. Now, here is the first distinction that will make you smarter and calmer. Mixed signals are not always manipulation, but even when they are not manipulation, they still create the same outcome in you: dysregulation. And your strategy cannot be built on their intention. Your strategy has to be built on the function. The function of mixed signals is that you stay emotionally engaged while they stay emotionally protected. That is the hidden meaning. Now, let us go deeper into why avoidants do this in the first place. Because when you understand the mechanics, you stop taking it personally, and you stop responding in a way that feeds the pattern. Most avoidants learned early that closeness comes with a cost. The cost can look like obligation, shame, loss of autonomy, being swallowed by someone else's feelings, being judged for not doing it perfectly, being punished when they disappoint. So their nervous system associates intimacy with pressure. Even if they want love, their body treats love like a demand. So they build a system that gives them the parts of connection that feel good while minimizing the parts that feel risky. That system often includes mixed signals, because mixed signals create a perfect middle zone for an avoidant system. Enough closeness to get soothed, enough distance to stay in control. And the moment you ask for consistency, the system feels threatened, because consistency feels like a contract. Consistency feels like an expectation. Consistency feels like being trapped. So they pull away. Then they miss you. Then they come back. Then they pull away again. Now, notice what this does to your nervous system. Your nervous system starts to work overtime. It starts scanning their tone. It starts replaying conversations. It starts decoding timing. It starts trying to solve their moods. This is where people lose months of their life. Because mixed signals turn your love into a detective job. You become a pattern analyst, not a partner. And your brain becomes obsessed not because they are perfect, but because they are inconsistent. This is the slot machine effect. If someone is consistently warm, you might love them, but you do not obsess. If someone is inconsistently warm, your brain becomes obsessed because it starts chasing the next reward. And here is why that matters for your outcome. The more your system becomes obsessed, the more likely you are to chase. The more you chase, the more pressure they feel. The more pressure they feel, the more they withdraw. And then your obsession gets worse. That is the engine. So the goal is not to become cold. The goal is to become accurate. Accuracy breaks the engine. Now I am going to break mixed signals into 5 categories, because once you can label the type, you immediately know what to do. Category 1 is emotional intimacy without relational structure. This is when they open up, confide, talk for hours, share vulnerability, create deep emotional closeness, but they avoid labels, plans, routines, and consistency. Translation: they want emotional nourishment, not relational responsibility. Category 2 is physical intimacy without emotional accountability. This is when they show up with desire, attention, chemistry, affection, then disappear or act distant when closeness deepens. Translation: they want connection in a form that feels controllable, and they want to avoid the parts that activate vulnerability. Category 3 is reassurance seeking without commitment. This is when they check your availability, react to your distance, act jealous, want proof you still care, but do not offer stable investment. Translation: they want to reduce their anxiety, not build a bond. Category 4 is breadcrumbing. This is the low-effort ping. Likes, random check-ins, late-night miss you, short replies, little touches. Translation: this is an access probe. Not always conscious, but it tests one thing. Are you still there? Category 5 is repair avoidance. This one is important. This is when they cause a rupture, then act normal, then avoid the conversation, then return with charm or small affection instead of repair. Translation: they want closeness without accountability. They want to skip the part where they have to own impact. Now, here is what most people do wrong with all 5 categories. They treat signals like progress. They treat attention like investment. They treat warmth like change. But warmth is not change. A warm moment is not a new pattern. The only thing that matters with mixed signals is what repeats. Patterns are public. Patterns are what you can build a strategy around. So if you want to stop being trapped, you stop asking, what do they feel? And you start asking, what do they repeat? Now, I know what you are thinking. You are thinking, but what if the feelings are real? They can be. Avoidance can feel intensely. They can miss you and still not text you. They can watch you and still act indifferent. They can feel loss and still tell themselves they feel nothing. That does not mean you were nothing. It means their system is built around one goal: keeping closeness at a distance so they can stay in control. So if you want them back, you cannot build your strategy around making them feel more. You build your strategy around making closeness feel safer, while making inconsistency cost them access. That is the only strategy that moves an avoidant system over time. And this is where we get to the core rule that will make your life easier. Do not reward attention. Reward consistency. If you remember one line from this episode, remember this: words without behavior do not count. Because mixed signals feed a signal economy. The signal economy is when you treat every tiny sign as currency. A look means hope. A like means progress. A short reply means they still care. A late-night text means they are coming back. But signals are not stability. Signals are not a relationship. Signals are often the minimum needed to keep access alive. And the avoidant does not even have to be malicious for this to be true. The system still functions the same. Now, let us talk about the exact moment people destroy their leverage. It is not when the avoidant leaves. It is when the avoidant returns. Because the return triggers your relief. Your nervous system stops hurting and it thinks, finally, safety. And then, you reward the return with full access. You respond fast. You open wide. You become over-available. You become grateful. You soften your standards. You move like someone who is afraid to lose them again. And you accidentally teach the avoidant the worst possible lesson. I can leave, I can come back, and I will be rewarded for returning without changing. If you want a real return, you cannot teach that lesson. You have to teach a different lesson. Closeness is earned through staying. Consistency is the currency. Repair is the currency. Now, here is the clean model. Avoidants come back when two conditions happen at the same time. 1, they feel safe from pressure. 2, they feel a real consequence to distance. If you only do safety, they relax into avoidance. You become the comfortable option they do not have to show up for. If you only do consequence with coldness, they feel punished and controlled, and they run. So the sweet spot is calm and firm. Calm lowers pressure. Firm raises the cost of inconsistency. Calm is your tone. Firm is your behavior. Calm says, I am not trying to trap you. Firm says, I am not willing to be trapped either. That climate is what creates the highest chance of a real return. Now, I am going to give you a decision framework you can use, because most people spiral because they do not know what to do with each signal. 3 levels. Level 1 is signals: likes, views, short texts, random check-ins, vague miss you, story reactions, hovering behavior. Treat these as neutral. Do not build a story. Do not collapse. Do not chase. Signals are not progress. Level 2 is contact with intention. They ask to talk. They ask to see you. They take accountability. They express wanting to reconnect in a real way. Here, you respond warm but measured. You do not go from 0 to full access overnight. You let intention build. Level 3 is consistency. Behavior that repeats over time. Repair after rupture. Follow through. Clarity. Stable effort. This is what you reward. This is what you open for. This is what you invest in. Now, let us translate this into specific scripts and behaviors, because I want you to actually feel what calm and firm looks like. Scenario 1. They disappear after closeness, then they return with a warm message. Most people either punish or collapse. Both feed avoidance. Punishing triggers control and fear. Collapsing rewards the cycle. The clean response is simple. Warm tone, short reply, no chase. Something like, "Good to hear from you. Hope you are well." Then stop. If they want more, they will carry it. You are not rude. You are not cold. You are simply not rewarding a breadcrumb with a feast. Scenario 2. They say they miss you, but they avoid plans. The mistake is trying to convince them with a speech. Do not argue. Do not persuade. You respond with a standard. Something like, "I like talking too. If you want to see me, tell me when." Then stop, because your goal is to move from feelings to behavior. Scenario 3. They get jealous when you pull away. They ask who you are with. They watch you more. They suddenly show up. Jealousy is not commitment. It is fear of losing access. So you do not soothe jealousy into comfort. You stay calm. You do not explain your life. You do not over-reassure. You let them feel the consequence of changed access. That is what creates reflection. Scenario 4. They create a rupture, then return acting normal, skipping repair. This is the most important, because if you accept normal without repair, you teach them repair is optional. So you keep it clean. You do not fight. You do not trial them. You simply do not move forward without repair. Warm, but precise. Something like, "I am open to talking, but I am not going to pretend nothing happened. If we reconnect, it has to be clean." Then you stop. Scenario 5. Breadcrumbing. The rule is you respond once, short, and you do not carry the conversation. And if the breadcrumbs continue without escalation, you stop responding. Not as punishment, as accuracy. Because you are teaching a standard. Access requires intention. Now, let us talk about why mixed signals feel like the most personal chemistry you have ever had, because this is the part that keeps you hooked and also makes you feel ashamed. People think chemistry means soulmate. Chemistry can be many things. Chemistry can be compatibility. Chemistry can be values. Chemistry can be shared humor. But in avoidant dynamics, chemistry is often contrast. Push-pull creates intensity because your brain is measuring prediction, not meaning. Unpredictable reward creates obsession. So you can feel a pull that is real and still be inside a pattern that is unstable. So here is the line that closes the loop in your brain. Special is not the same as stable. If you want an avoidant back, stability is the whole game. It does not mean you kill chemistry. It means you stop letting chemistry ruin your position. You can feel everything and still move cleanly. You can miss them and still not chase. You can want them back and still not reward instability. That combination is rare. Calm and firm is rare. Calm and firm is magnetic. Calm and firm is what makes an avoidance system stop and think. Now, I want to address the question that everyone asks, but almost nobody answers correctly. What do mixed signals actually mean about their feelings? Sometimes it means they like you, but they are not ready. Sometimes it means they are attached, but not available. Sometimes it means they want the benefits without commitment. Sometimes it means they are keeping options open. Sometimes it means they are afraid of vulnerability. The point is this: their feelings do not build your relationship. Their behavior does. So you do not need to solve feelings. You need to observe patterns. Now let us talk about the timeline, because people panic when they go quiet and see nothing. With avoidance, The first window after you stop feeding the pattern can look like nothing. Often they feel relief first, not because they do not care, but because pressure is off. Emotional responsibility feels off. Obligation feels off. So the first days can be quiet. Do not confuse that with failure. Then absence becomes noticeable. Not emotionally at first, behaviorally. They notice you are not reaching. They notice you are not reacting. They notice the emotional atmosphere shifted. That can trigger subtle anxiety because avoidance is not freedom, it is management. And when you stop participating, their management loses a key piece. Then, many avoidants do a low-risk probe. A breadcrumb, a check-in, a like, a message that tests access. And this is where your response matters more than your silence did. Because if you collapse into relief, you teach the wrong lesson. If you stay calm and measured, you teach the right lesson. And over time, if they have capacity, they either escalate into real contact or they fade. Both outcomes are data. Both outcomes protect you. Now I am going to give you the 3 do nots that will instantly increase your leverage and your emotional stability. Do not send the long emotional text. That text feels honest. It feels mature. It feels like closure. But in an avoidance system, it often reads as pressure and expectation. They feel responsible for your emotional state. Responsibility triggers fear. Fear triggers withdrawal. Do not do the dramatic exit. Dramatic exits feel like consequence, but they often read as punishment and control. Consequence is not drama. Consequence is access changing calmly. And do not do performative silence. Silence only works if it is clean. Clean silence means you are not checking, hovering, rehearsing, waiting, rereading, watching. Because the loop is not only texting, the loop is attention. If you go silent but keep the door open emotionally, the avoidant still feels access. Nothing shifts. Then, when they reach out, you collapse. That collapse teaches them distance gives them power. So clean silence is not a protest. It is a standard. It is not a performance. It is a boundary your nervous system actually honors. Now let us talk about the thing most people are too proud to admit. Mixed signals often hook you because your identity gets involved. Many people do not miss the person as much as they miss what the person represented. Being chosen by them, being special to them, being the one who cracked their walls, being the exception. And when that identity is on the line, every pull away feels like a threat to your worth. So you chase to restore the identity. You chase to restore the story. You chase to restore the fantasy that if they come back, it proves you were enough. That is why mixed signals can feel like life or death. Because it is not only about them. It is about what their return would prove. So here is the shift. You stop measuring your worth by whether they return. You measure outcomes by whether behavior changes after they return. That is the entire game. Staying is the test. Consistency is the test. Repair is the test. Accountability is the test. If you reward return, you reinforce the cycle. If you reward staying, you change the cycle. Now, here is how you become brutally accurate without becoming cold. You keep warmth, but you remove urgency. You keep humanity, but you stop chasing. You let your energy be calm, not begging. and you let standards do the speaking. This is what it looks like when they give you mixed signals in real time. You do not react to the signal. You wait for the pattern. You do not argue with confusion. You step back and watch behavior. You do not make your nervous system the customer service department for their inconsistency. You stop paying with anxiety. And you start moving like someone who understands the game without becoming a player. Now I want to give you a final framework that turns this into a simple rule set you can live by. 1. If they want access, require intention. 2. If they return, reward staying, not return. 3. If they want closeness, make closeness earned, not demanded. 4. If they pull away, do not chase at the peak. Peak is the moment your urgency spikes. Peak is when you want to do something right now to relieve the discomfort. That is where people sabotage. So your one rule is simple. Do not act at the peak. Let the wave pass. Because every time you survive a peak without chasing, you teach your nervous system a new truth. I can feel this and still hold my frame. That skill is what keeps you from sabotaging the return. And it is what makes you more magnetic to an avoidant system. Because avoidants are drawn to steadiness. Now let me make this even clearer with one sentence that will save you years. Mixed signals are a test of what you reward. If you reward attention, you get more inconsistency. If you reward consistency, you get either a real return or a clean ending. Both are wins. Because a real return without change is not a win. It is a reset of the same trap. So if you take one thing from this episode, take this. Words without behavior do not count. Stop converting potential into hope. Stop turning signals into proof. Stop paying with anxiety. Reward behavior. Reward staying. Reward repair. That is how you stop being hooked without becoming cold. That is how you keep your dignity and increase the chance of a real return. Welcome to PsychBond. You're safe here.